Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of The War Room, an emergency episode. Tonight, you're going to hear from myself, Miss Karen, Miss 411, and I think Lawrence Rowe will join us. We're also going to have Liz to talk about this developments happening in the opposition party. Today, news broke that the General Secretary of the party, well, first of all, let me just say hi to everybody in the chat and then I'll get into that. Welcome, everybody. Moderators, thank you for joining and welcome. Welcome to all you warriors and Jamaicans and truth seekers and truth speakers. Welcome. Please hit the like button and if you haven't subscribed here, please do so. So, this evening, news broke that Dayton Campbell is no longer the General Secretary of the People's National Party. The story is that he's going to be focused on his constituency. However, very interesting turn of events because normally when you have a general secretary who is stepping down because there's no taking leave of absence from the secretariat just to go focus on your constituency. You are either the general secretary or you are not. You see that last week, SKEFFERY was forced to resign, and he did, from the ECJ. And now comes Dayton Campbell. This looks like a situation where they were part of the national campaign for the election. The PNP lost, and so head start rolling kind of thing. So you have SKEFFERY who taken off the ECJ. He vacates the post in January. And Dayton Campbell. But they want to kind of pretty it up for Dayton Campbell, and I'm not sure why. But here's the interesting part about it now. Like I said, under normal circumstance, the General Secretary resigns and somebody else replaces him or her in a democratic process. That did not happen this time around. And Liz and them will come and tell you now. They had this woman named Maureen Weber replacing Dayton Campbell. They created a new post in the PNP called the National Project something. And she's supposed to be leading that new post. And so they kind of ushered her in to assume the role of General Secretary without any form of contest from anybody else. So what this is a continuation of the Rise United faction control in the People's National Party, where there's no democracy, where, if you ask me, they don't respect democracy or the will of the people. And I want to talk also about Paul Buchanan. They don't respect democracy and the will of the people. He lost the election, and what does he do? Abuses the courts, went to the court and tried to remove the prime minister. And we've seen this playbook before. The PNP had an internal election, Dr. Phillips. They tried to overthrow him, and they did so by an internal election. They lost. What did they do? You think they accepted it? Oh, no. They all wrote a letter and signed it and said, oh, we're going to go to the Governor General and ask him to remove you after the democratic process took course. So that's just how they are. They don't respect democracy. And Maureen Weber now is there. And it's like yesterday they had their NEC meeting and I heard that less than 50% turned out. That shows that this is a party in shambles. The leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, they're deciding who and who must leave or step down after the election defeat. But the man who is at the helm of the party is still there. How does that make sense? What is the purpose of Maureen Weber and who is she? As I said, Maureen Weber is a riser. Maureen Weber is a bunting person. Maureen Weber was the one that was seen in the WhatsApp leak encouraging the comrades them to protest, encouraging the risers to protest against the election result of Peter Phillips and Peter Bunting. So there's speculations that she was placed there because you have to understand, you know, guys, that the PNP as it is today, and I've said this to you guys before, I don't know if you remember, the PNP of today, nobody who is a non-riser can hold any important position in the party. Okay? So when Mark Golding leaves, the person that they want to replace him is a riser. As you can see at the secretariat of the party, is a riser. And it shall be so until the end of time, I guess. So Maureen Weber, it is being alleged that she's there holding the fort and trying to make way for Peter Bunting to succeed Mark Golding. So there is gonna be bangarang in there because them say Damian Crawford want leadership and Damian Crawford is not a riser. So him not going to get it. And if Damian Crawford go up against Bunting, it's going to be slaughteration. Because the risers, them going to know what to do with him. Dayton Campbell want leadership. And him up against Bunting is going to be homicide. Does Philip Powell want leadership? At this time, I don't know if Philip Powell want to get involved in this year crime scene. I don't believe it, but anything is possible. So we have some very when it's all said and done, and it's time to replace the next leader and them something there, it is gonna be worse than Hurricane Melissa, you know. Remember that, guys. So in the PNP of today, no democracy. Rise United faction must hold control, even though them have no traction, even though them have no national appeal, even though they're unviable. I would venture to guess that maybe 75% of the parliament on the opposition side, them are risers. If you look at all of them, all risers. And of the 28 of them, even those who are not risers, but you can't say them are conformists, them conform to the risers. Not one of them is qualified to be prime minister, in my view, or to be opposition leader. So, somebody just asked me a question earlier if the PNP is interested in winning an election. My answer is no. Not really. The PNP is more interested in who has control of the party. And that is going to go on for as long as Bunting is involved and as long as Dayton Campbell and Golding and them are involved. And anybody who miraculously gets the leadership of the PNP who is a non-riser, they will not succeed. They will not succeed leading the party. They will not succeed going up against the JLP in a general elect. They will not succeed because you are always going to have the Buntings and the Goldings and the Campbells and the risers with them knife in them and in a somebody back. That's how it is. So we had to come out here tonight. About 1 hour ago, the ladies them and I decided that we are going to come out here and enlighten the public, emergency. We never see one of them here before. This is an emergency war room situation. I'm gonna give them about 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes to get here. And they better get here, because if they don't, then I'm just gonna come back with you guys tomorrow. I've been threatening them, telling them that they need to learn to be on time. So we will see. Anyway, let me read some of your comments while we wait. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining. Them cannot manage. You see, the interesting thing about this, is after you lose an election, you go and you do some reflection, right? And you go and try to organize and do your renewal. The PNP does not know what to do. The risers, they don't know what to do after losing a general election. They have no clue. They're trying to put the blame on people. And it's like nothing makes sense. I think they want to win the election. They just don't know how. That's a good point. If they knew how, they would have won. Let me just say this real quick. Yeah, some people with the propaganda and the lies and everything, and them will go around and say, well, government thief the election, Remember when I was going to Jamaica and I was on the plane, and this comrade on the plane, I talk about election thief and me have to done him. Them a say election thief. But I want to ask the comrades them this question. The PNP lost 3 consecutive elections over the last 10 years. Wanna tell me say, a thief them want the thief too? Question. Just a small question. The phone line is not open yet. I don't know if we're going to open it tonight. I see somebody's calling. Hold on, the guys. Yeah. Yeah. So the last the 3 consecutive elections. What caused that? They're all in the wilderness for I don't know when. Happy to have you all. Thank you. Thank you. PNP is in deep waters. Why don't they dump this group and come together to form a viable opposition? PNP need to start anew. This bastard PNP, Mark Golden leading, is dead. Earlier on, a couple of years ago, people were encouraging Damian Crawford and Lisa Hanna, who we would have called the next generation, to start a party. I think they missed an opportunity. No, that's not to say that if they started a party, they would have won the election. But the Bible says, move from among them. You cannot go anywhere with these risers. They're like a disease. So, what are you going to do? You see the people that will conform with them. The Natalie, Nita, and the rest of them. You don't know how stupid them look. Some of these people used to be popular, Damon Crawford used to be popular. Michael Phillips used to be popular among, the base of the PNP. I mean, they've all lost their shine. It just doesn't make any sense. But, let's see. Right now, the PNP comes out of them comfort zone to try and destabilize the recovery effort. All right, so this is JA411 in the chat talking about, say, she's sharing link, and that was 3 minutes ago. And I've got 1 more minute, and if they're not here, then we can just follow up another time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't like to complain. I don't like to, you know, but people need to learn to be on time. One more minute. One more minute. All of what is going on was bound to happen sooner than later because everyone is power hungry and money thirsty. Oh no, hold on there. Good night. Good night. Good night. You mentioned Michael Phillips a long time. They've all become unpopular. They've all become unpopular. They've all lost their shine. Young, bright among the PNP base, they've all lost their shine. I've never seen anything like this. How you could have make people drag it down like this. I mean, I don't want to make it sound too bad, but I don't know nobody I don't know no adult, sensible adult who would have follow Rise United. I don't know any. If you know some, let me know. I want to call a name for you. But me don't know any. I think the PNP is trying to use the left-wing agenda that seemed to be on the rise in other countries and bring it to Jamaica. They don't have an agenda. They just want to keep making a lot of noise. Yes, but it goes a little deeper than that because, first of all, you have to have internal stability as a political organization before you come to people, you know, wanting to lead something. But instead of really moving out of the way and let people who want to unite or can unite do so, they use polls and try to manipulate the people and tell lies. And the lies didn't get them anywhere. You know, when they were caught in the sabotage, instead of using humility and saying, you know what, I'm caught, I was wrong, I'm moving from off the front line, they were arrogant about it. And at this point in time, as I said, the NEC meeting we keep yesterday, and what do them people that tell me say they're in a studio and can't come in? Which part? Well, on the guys. I don't know which studio them in because I can't this studio. Let me call this lady. Okay, hold on. Give me a second, guys. All right, guys. We're gonna have to do it over the phone because something about the link. So we have a conference call here with Michelle Stern, aka 411. We have Lawrence Rowe and Liz for right now. So
Try call Karen.
who wants to go first? The person with the background noise, please turn it down.
Turn up the TV, princess. You said Lawrence.
So we're live now, ladies and gentlemen. We're live now.
Yeah, princess.
So the question I have is,
so we're talking about the firing of the Campbell. Is that what we're calling it? Or they're trying to call it something else?
the firing of DAYTON Campbell. What would be the normal procedure after an election defeat and the party decides? Well, to the public, they want to make it seem like DAYTON said, "Hey, I need to go to my constituency, so me can't continue that duty here. So give me a leave of absence."
Or, I mean, after the general elections, how Dayton is positioning himself, it seems as if he is also indicating his interest in becoming the next party leader.
Right.
And so he has to transition out of the role. You saw where he put out there an article about himself, in parliament, he's not being confrontational with the prime minister, while the leader of the opposition is. So he's taking a different tone, and singing from a different hymn sheet. But equally, coming out of both local government election and the general election, he has demonstrated his inability to secure a victory for the People's National Party. And so I believe it is them saying, "Hey, you got to go." So this is now a polished way to have him transition out of the role while not losing control of the secretariat. They now have Maureen Weber auditioning for the role that he had wanted from Mrs. Cynthia Miller was president of the People's National Party.
So what would be the normal procedure, though? There would be an election, right?
For the office of General Secretary, he's unable to continue and is resigned, or the office is vacant, then there should be an election at the NEC.
Right.
What they want to prevent is the PNP further imploding, because if there is an election, it will be hotly contested and the wounds will open wide. And people will see the destructive force that they are, because they will, be talking all sorts of things about each other.
But this wouldn't be the first time, though, that there would be an internal democratic process to replace the general secretary.
But they have not had one in a long time. And what they have always been trying to do is to negotiate. You take two, me take two, this side take two, and this side take two. Similarly, I heard that Natalie Nita Garvey protested against Mark continuing as president of the PNP. Right, to the extent that she left the country and did not sign the nomination papers. I mean, this is what is out there.
Oh, right? She never signed. Okay.
And to appease her, they transitioned her into the role of vice president. That is what is out there.
Oh, okay.
Even though others wanted it to appear as if Damien was the one who never signed the nomination paper.
Oh, okay. Well, should she get some credit for that?
With Maureen transition into this new role, I believe it is a Rise 2.0 election where either you will see Angela as the front runner as the next leader of the PNP.
Where say? Where say? Angela what?
Angela Brunton. It will be either Angela Brown Burke, Dayton Campbell, or Peter Bunting running as the next president whenever the challenge comes.
Then you really feel like, say, Peter Bunting, would I really find the energy? Would I really find the will and the desire to come run for party president?
Who knows? Let's hear from Princess
Princess
and Karen.
Karen, good night. What do you guys make of this? Dayton say he is taking a leave of absence. People say him fired.
When he said that,
Well, when he said that he's going to work in his constituency and that...
but the article never said that. The article never said that, you know. Hold on there.
Yes.
The article actually
Yes, it
said,
did.
He will he's a setback from his substantive duties.
Yes. He never said he said any such thing.
To
Unless
work
he
in
said
his
it on
constituency.
Yeah.
Go read it again. That's what it says.
Yeah, but he never quoted him.
No, he
Never
never,
said him said so.
he never quoted him, but I must him say so.
No. No more people know such thing.
So hold on there now. Let me ask you, before we go forward, we could go backwards a little bit. What do you all make of...
Clearly,
What do
you
you
would
make...
expect if he was
What do you make of SKEFFERY being told to vacate the post? Because this coming like a domino effect about to happen. Both men were in charge of the national campaign.
Well,
That's
Dayton
how we're
was the
dealing with it.
campaign. Dayton was the campaign director, and Skeffery served as campaign manager. And how the party's constitution is written, the general secretary is the campaign manager. So I found that very strange in that campaign, why he was asked to step back. But outside of that, the party still suffered a loss. And for them to be transitioning Maureen Webber into a new role, how will she be compensated? And I think that is what brought the camel's back in deciding that, hey, one of you at ECJ Commissioner must go, and this is how we will compensate or remunerate Maureen Webber.
So nobody in the party is offended or finds something wrong with the way that this is being done, or is this just the new norm? Liz, good night.
hello.
Yes, good night.
night.
What do you make of all of this?
First of all, I must say I am, as a member of the People's National Party who still votes PNP, I was actually taken aback a while ago when you said Lawrence Rowe. However, let us look at the history of this situation as it presents itself. The People's National Party has been placed on a automatic pilot, or in retreat from 2000 and when PJ Patterson appointed 2002. PJ Patterson began to appoint. He appointed Damien Crawford as YU president. He appointed. He kept Pickersgill chairman for life. He appointed several persons. PJ Patterson put the PNP on the back burner or on automatic by starting changing the whole nucleus of what the People's National Party is by appointing people to position. He then erased all commissions. So he then erased all commissions. So what we must understand first and foremost, from as far back as 2002, PJ Patterson planned the demise or the destruction of the People's National Party and to replace it with a political organization called Rise United Movement. All right. Now, if you look at the structure of the present situation, at no point has Mark Golding ever in any sphere ever said, I am a member of the People's National Party. I voted for the People's National Party. I have been a financial member of the People's National Party from XY to XY time. He has never said that. He has never identified with the People's National Party. So it must be clearly understood that the People's National Party has been placed on automatic pilot and placed on a back burner situation since 2002. What we have been having since that time until present is an organization called Rise United Movement. They have even changed their color is blue. They're not wearing orange.
So,
black,
Liz,
red,
what do you make of this current situation now, where DAYTON now as him gone pan leave and nobody now?
There's the continued internal power struggle of the Rise United Movement, where in the paper last week, I still have the article.
Guys, hold on there. Guys, if you're not speaking, please mute your mic.
Mark Golden publicly blamed Wentworth SKEFFERY for the loss. He did that publicly, right? Which again says Mark Golden is not a member of the People's National Party, will never adhere. He has no understanding about the People's National Party. So he blames SKEFFERY. Today, I saw on Facebook this evening that Maureen Weber replaces Dayton Campbell. And I'm saying, interesting situation. There's a book by a Nigerian, Not Things Fall Apart. And what is happening is, I heard you mention earlier too, is the second time, just to break. It is the second such time Natalie Nita Edley, Fitz Jackson, and Dennis Daly, MPs did not sign on to Mark Golden becoming president of the party in 2020. Those three did not sign on. So I'm not surprised at Natalie not signing again. But the onus now is on it needs a re-emergence and rebirth, because what we are having, there is no organization of the PNP since 2002, none. The conferences, the all groups meeting, the group meeting, the commissions, all of that needs to be given a rebirth for you to recognize what is the People's National Party. And the last general election campaign, again, was a Mark Golden campaign. All the ads mentioned and spoke, and he led in all the ads, advertisement. So it is not, and I've been saying this for years now, it is not the People's National Party. Nothing of that nature, what has been happening is of the People's National Party. It is not.
All right, thank you for that, Liz. Karen, what do you make of this whole thing here? Good night.
Good night, all. I'm Lawrence.
Wickedness increase, Good night.
There, man, I was at Manchester the other day.
South Manchester is doing good, man. South Manchester is doing good. Gearing up to run out Monty. He can't do a second chance of himself. So if I'm going to turn lead him up, I'm going to get Mark's seat.
And here he needs a list of all the beneficiaries. ODSEM. He needs a list of all who benefited from ODSEM, Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and Office of the Economic Growth and Development.
Well, him can need all the list him want. Nobody can stop him from need list. He can need all the list him want. That don't mean him going to get them.
And boy, the consequence is too big, and we are required to tag GPS, and the government should consider relaxing some of these rules.
And the government, their overwhelming argument these days is that the government should do this and the government should do that. Everything is about what the government should and should not do, not what they are proposing as an alternative. So that is a bunting thing. That's bunting thing from long time. There's nothing strange about that. So, what's the conversation about tonight, no?
We're asking Karen, we're asking everybody, and stop the noise where you're doing at the background, man.
I don't never come out because I work, me and work. All right, go on, let me stop. My son said me have something to do, and I'm not to do.
Karen, you are
Yes,
live. They are live. There's 1,800 or something people over here waiting to hear what you think about the firing of Dayton Campbell.
Oh my Lord. Lord have mercy, Jesus. That situation is Jesus. How much time we have? How much time we have?
Go on,
That's
take about 5 minutes.
This, I don't know if I can take 5 minutes to tell you what I think, but I will briefly say that I think that some people have been gone in for his head since the loss of the election.
Oh.
And they have been, and his bosses, his boss, Mark Wallen, have been looking for a gentle way to cut off him head, but without cutting off him head, so to speak. And so they started with the argument that SKEFFERY is to be blamed for the loss of the election. And the strange thing about that, however, is that hardly the Jamaican know who SKEFFERY is. So for somebody who's to be blamed for the loss of the election, people must be asking, who the hell is Wentworth SKEFFERY? For people to say, well, he's the one to be blamed. But I don't know if anybody said this before, but traditionally, an election in any political party, the general secretary is basically the campaign manager, as Mr. Chang is for the Jamaica Labour Party. That has always been the case for the PNP as well. The general secretary is the campaign manager, but from early on in the campaign, from very early on in the campaign, there were reports that Dayton Campbell don't want, Leighton Epstein, for this one, don't want to be campaign manager. He didn't want the job. He didn't want to do it because he felt that it's going to take him away from buying Eastern Westmoreland, and he couldn't manage buying Eastern Westmoreland and have to deal with 62 other consequences. So from early on, there was that. So he was never the campaign manager. What he did was divested it to SKEFFERY, whom nobody know who that is. So because all he does was like he would go on the news media and speak, and then misleading the PNP people again. To believe that he's the general secretary and he's running the campaign. Go out and spread propaganda talking about them winning in 47 seats, talking about them with sweep Westmoreland and them with the sweep St. Elizabeth and them with the sweep Manchester. So that gave the PNP people the impression that he was in control of the elections. But he was not. He was far removed from it, in all fairness to him, if we can be fair to him. He was very far removed from it. And SKEFFERY was just a puppet. And here's the strangest part of Dayton's firing, because it's a soft landing firing. They fired him, they removed him. And Mark Golden created a way to do it. And it was, from my information coming out from NEC, it was Mark Golden's proposal. All the proposal that went to the NEC was from Mark Golden, and it was put forward by Angela the Witch Brown-Burke. So she put forward the proposal as outlined and by Mark Golden and his wishes.
So for fire Dayton?
Yeah. Oh. He gave a speech. Mark Golden spoke at the NEC, and from all indications, the speech was, me there, I understand if I talk. So me talk, so me talk, me don't talk, me was sit down now, all right? Everybody better sit down to me. And then for the rest of the NEC, he just sat there. Said nothing, did nothing, don't want to be there. From what I hear, he didn't want to be there. So Angela was the one who presented this to the NEC. The NEC, when I asked a question, the NEC was present at Michael Teachers College was maybe about 45 to 50 people. On the Zoom, probably another 45 to 50. Pardon me. And that was basically the composition of the entire NEC meeting.
Wow.
And Angela put forward this suggestion proposal.
The NEC has about 330 something.
Yeah, it's almost 350 people.
I may I tell the people them say less than 50%. Well, it's less than 50%, but it's way less than 50%.
Way less than 50%.
Wow. So what
So
does
they
that
put
what does
forward-
that tell you with the turnout?
People lack interest. People don't have no interest in it. People NEC is not what it used to be. NEC used to be a place where you go network and push up yourself and try to be something and get something and whatever it is. It's not that anymore. But not the interest in it. Those who go are those who really don't understand what it is meant for. Most of them. Some do. The people, the power people, them they will go because it's their power. The others that they drag along to come to those meetings, those are people who seeking power or want to at least be near the power. So they go. But let me just say something if you give me 2 more minutes. The proposal as put forward is a strange thing. I don't have Lawrence talk about it, but it's the strangest thing. One, Maureen Webber has been elevated to basically act in the capacity of General Secretary. Every one of her responsibilities is screaming acting General Secretary, even though they never named her acting General Secretary. But she is that. She's also on the EAC, which Dayton remains a member of. I don't know if it's for now or what. She will be on the EAC when SKEFFERY resigned at the end of December, and she'll take it up. I'm going to say something about SKEFFERY, but not right now. The thing that's strange for me, the thing that's strange for me is this. Leighton Epstein was never leading the campaign. They are blaming SKEFFERY for losing an election that he was an inferior in.
Oh.
The entire election organization and apparatus was being run by Maureen Webber. Data collection, data dissemination, this data program that she developed that everybody was confused about. Most people wasn't using it, and those who used it lied on it, so they couldn't get proper result from it. So she developed that. She was in charge of workers, the workers manual, workers training, workers dissemination, workers this, workers that. She was in charge of Canvas. She was in charge of, she was basically the technical director for the campaign. SKEFFERY was indeed her inferior. She was SKEFFERY's superior. SKEFFERY was answerable to her. And that is the strangest part of the whole thing, because if SKEFFERY is to be blamed for an election that he was never in charge of, and the person who was in charge of it was elevated to a superior position, the big question is, why?
Something wrong.
Why? I figure Lawrence would be Lawrence will be able to tell you why.
Hey, Lawrence, come in real quick.
So here we know. The period for submitting, for holding your AGM and submitting it to the Secretariat runs from January to April 15. Up to March 31st, you have to hold the AGMs and you have to submit by the 15th or the 22nd of April. Now, if I am in Dayton's position and want to run for the office of president, I'm going to ensure that there is no spike in membership during that period, or if there is, that those are driven by me. So while I would be in agreement to transition out of the role, I still want control. And I believe that is why he's still holding on as General Secretary while someone else takes on the substantive role.
That is what it looks like.
Yeah, but that is what it is. Dayton was one of those individuals who convinced Damien not to offer himself this time around for the office of president. And he told him that, boy, I really want to see you as president, but now is not the time. And he did that in such a way to, massage the ego of Damien, whilst he was setting up his own shop to offer himself when the time comes. So you just watch his face, and you just watch the relationship between Dayton and Angela as the months go by.
But wait then
I
now.
can tell you,
Where does
when-
Bunting fit into all of this?
when the party was going into, when the PNP was going into the local government elections, Maureen Webber and Angela protested Dayton taking on the role as campaign manager. A letter was written to Mark Golding as president. A meeting was convened at the office of the leader of opposition. Attending that meeting were Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, Dayton Campbell, Angela Bromberg, and Maureen Webber herself. And when they placed the issues out there and, how junior he was and, he has not developed the requisite competencies to take the party into an election, Bunting ran to his defense and said the general secretary is always the campaign manager. That saved him.
Oh.
Dayton told me that broke the camel's back and Angela must be challenged. And then came the challenge with Raymond Price. Remember, I told you at the meeting at the leader of the opposition when they were asking me to step aside.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought up back the matter and said, and Mark Golding said that the only thing he have against me is that I supported the likes of Raymond Price over Angela Bromberg. And I told him, Dayton told me to mount that challenge.
Jesus, Father, what a wicked set of people them.
So Angela and Dayton, so Bunting's next candidate is Angela. And that is the first in the rice camp. They don't want it, but Bunting is supporting Angela.
But I hear that Bunting is the one putting forward Dayton and telling people that them training Dayton. But Lawrence, could it also be?
Bunting wants Dayton out of the office of General Secretary so he can assume the role through Maureen Webber.
Yes, so that is it. So that is the thing, no, Larry.
Turn on the how have on TV. Oh. Liz, I think that's you.
TV now, man. Unmute your phone.
I'll go and go watch the news if you want to watch the news. So Lawrence, so here is something that don't make no sense now. Maureen Webber, it was sent to go basically run the secretariat to get Angela elected to Bunting. Yeah, I don't buy that. I think Maureen Webber is there to facilitate Bunting's run for leader, not Angela. Everybody in the PNP and Rice camp know that Angela can't be no leader, not even run for leader. Every striking soul know that, not even with Bunting backing. So, I don't see Maureen Webber in the new role that she's given. Well, everybody changed now still, and everybody is at a power high about what them power is and what them power is. So your argument could be correct, but I am differing on that. I really, really don't see Bunting training Angela to run for leader of the Rise United camp with Damian and Julian and him Bunting in the wings. I don't know. Bunting is too devious for that.
But Karen, remember saying from Dayton Cartel to the conference to walk in front of Bunting. From that, Bunting not really in a Dayton,
No, man, Bunting hate him and I can agree with you. Yeah, we want to get rid of the general secretary. And Dayton can't challenge Bunting either for leader because Bunting have him file. Bunting have the whole line file.
Oh.
Bunting know all of the young girl them there. Bunting know who for housing get bill and who we get buyout. Bunting have all that for him file. Everything that Epstein file. Bunting have
in Eastern Westmoreland.
Oh.
And went to Westmoreland and told Luther that he would be the party's candidate.
What a something.
And Dayton almost packed up his marbles and he said that he will never ask Bunting to run in the PNP. Bunting is not the leader of the party.
Yes. So them loggerheads. But I think it is my feeling and that no matter what it appears to me right now, it is going to be Bunting. And if they feel like him can challenge Bunting, him going to think twice about it. Can be that like to make him know, Mr. Epstein, that Bunting have the Epstein file. Think like think like Lawrence Bigfoot.
No.
I do not see Bunting in a contest with Damian Crawford. It will not happen.
But who not about? Wait a minute.
We're going to see Bunting contesting if Damian running.
Correct.
Well, that's the next thing again now. That's the next thing again.
Remember, they have moved to universal voting now, so it's one man, one vote.
Yes. Yes. And but here the other thing, I hear that some other people lining up with Damian Crawford. I hear that Paulwell and Lisa Hanna and them lining up with Damian Crawford, and some other people lining up with Julian Robinson. Somebody with more sense than I have, and far more politically astute and experienced than me, said to me today in discussion, the same conversation, that in terms of leader of the party for a smooth transition, Paulwell will be the natural choice. Now, Bunting would die first before that happened, and he would definitely back Angela. But if he backs Angela loses if anybody is run.
But can I say something? Everybody is talking about who is gonna run and who are in a race. Who with the people? Who with the PNP be a support? Cause nobody now support Bunting for no leader.
I think Natalie is a dark horse.
Where's it?
Natalie Nita Garvey. Yeah. Watch his face with her as well.
You are absolutely correct about her. Very, very correct. I think if Angela Brownberg push up her head, a whole heap of people can push up their head. Anybody but she. People would even, and Bunting playing this game, that him push it out as much as them as possible, knowing that they want them flawed. Knowing that Leighton Epstein have a file, knowing that Angela is the most hated politician in the country, knowing that PNP people don't really like Angela, them hate Angela. So Bunting playing this game. It's always a game with him. Isn't that so, Lawrence? It's always a game.
But Ununa, answer the question yet. When time it comes down to it, will the people of the local base or the PNP have left? I don't think they will back Bunting for no leader. Them see Bunting lose too many times.
No, that PNP base, that's strange base. They would rather support him than Angela.
Hear there.
No, it's true.
So warm to the dread.
Well, isn't that true, Lawrence? Yeah, them like the excitement with Damian Crawford as well. But they would rather support him and Damian over Angela.
If it's going to be a universal thing, then Damian has no money. Well, for money that's going to take now, holy run election.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, the people.
Who will back Damian?
Who?
Yeah, man.
McNeil.
Yeah, well, he's not a power.
Lord have mercy. So hold on there now.
It's going to be one huge mess over there. And I'm stacking up on popcorn and some good red wine and get myself ready for that drama.
Mr. crime scene, yellow tape. Hold on there. Make Liz ask her question. Where you say, Liz?
Michael Manley, Portia, PJ, Peter, all of those persons, we could name the secretariat of the People's National Party, right? Involving chairman, deputy chairman, general sec, 4 GS and 4 deputy GS, etc., etc. You know, where is since 2002? Where is the what is who is comprising the PNP secretariat now? Well, it's not in the PNP. Who comprises the secretariat of this Rise United movement?
You're not supposed to have some deputy in there.
No, you don't have anybody.
The man, the future international scammer, is a deputy general secretary.
Isn't Nikisha Birchall? Isn't Nikisha Birchall one of the secretary?
Of course, she is
the deputy,
general secretary. And so is SKEFFERY.
Okay.
They're all 10 deputy general secretaries.
That's for Martin as well, and we've had.
Him name the future international scammer.
But those are persons unpicked, right? By Bakra. Because Bakra is really the one running the show. You know, people keep saying Bunting. Bakra is the one running the show. Because there's a letter. Oh, I tell Karen I will bring it to you tomorrow. Very good letter. Reminding Mark Golden about it's one prime minister and we don't have a coalition government. It's a very good letter.
Yeah.
No.
Who wrote it? Clark
or something like that. It's a very good letter.
Okay.
No, as I said, there is no organization there's no political organization of People's National Party, because even tonight is a Monday, past School Up Road, it's a joke. But the organization or the party that we know it has been dormant since 2002. Therefore, in fact, somebody said, DAYTON Campbell said, PJ Patterson was the one who won the seat for him in East Westmoreland and the money. PJ won that seat for DAYTON Campbell because PJ went in, made a statement and asked the people to elect him. PJ Patterson, and people keep ruling, keep ruling him out. Him had the power broke, kind of the whole of this, him around the show. No, there is no organization, none, because you don't have no secretariat, you don't have no commissions, you don't have no group structure, you don't have no nothing at all. It's just Bunting and Golden. Because Angela Brownberg is wearing in name only, like some marriages. She wears the title of chairman, but she's the only in the history of the People's National Party, is the only non-functional chairman. She has no function.
Oh, she had chairman, Lord Jesus, I forgot.
Yeah, man, but I see, you never remember, because Bunting and Golden making sure she not have no say. So she can't go no further. The other thing is, if Portia Simpson Miller dies tomorrow or whenever, her birthday is in 4 days' time, anytime Portia Simpson Miller eyes closed, Angela Brownberg is going to be voted out of Southwest St. Andrew. That is going to happen. Therefore,
I want to make the point, something that's crossed my mind, that Lawrence need to, I don't know if you can weigh into it. Maureen Weber is a top riser. She works only for Bunting. I want everybody to understand that.
Okay.
Maureen Weber works only for Bunting. I don't know what Paul Burke and Angela Brownberg might think that they have in terms of power, because them holding on to the semblance of whatever them have, because them can't survive on their own, you know. Them always need somebody in the power seat to survive. And them still on them path to remove Paulwell. But here's another scenario that we could talk about or think about, or people could reel around in them in. Lawrence, you as well. I would imagine that they would be making sure that Mark don't resign first as leader of the opposition. Because if Mark resigns first as leader of the opposition, once him reach him get him in pension thing, because is that him waiting on. And somebody to be elected leader of the opposition, there be 15 of the 28, 15 or 14 of the 28, including themselves, to vote for them. The question is, where will people go in the parliament? And don't think of it lightly. Don't take it lightly that the parliamentarians themselves might actually go for Philip Powell to be the leader of the opposition.
You're there.
Don't take that like I know it sounds weird, but do not take it lightly. Because many of them, even some who were top risers and came in as risers and came in as Bunting brought them in and support and give them money and all the rest of it. Many of them looking for a little bit of stability to see if them can stay in parliament longer because them know that them don't have, if them continue on this with this clownism and this the circus that them run in the early 28 of them not going to see any kind of political power in this country. So many of them are dying for a little bit of stability, and them just a fleeting might. I mean, money will sway them, of course. Bunting will come with the millions and say, this is all why to vote or that or weird stuff. But don't rule that out. I still believe in the human spirit. And that is what leads me to think that, because of my belief in how the human spirit operates, they will continue down a pathway for a particular period of time, and then bam, in one sound, everything shifts. And it becomes something else. So that is not something to be counted out with other MPs who are not loud. You know, that kind of thing. So what do you think about Lawrence? I would love to hear what you think about
that. I know that Powell is playing it very safe from the other day. I heard that when there were talks about challenging Mark, he was saying, boy, you know, there is a 100% turnaround and he won 14 seats, and now is not the time.
What kind of argument that?
Yeah, very surprised now. I heard that Natalie was the only militant one who said that, boy, a win is a win and a lose is a lose.
Jeez.
So, as I say, I'm just watching this face.
Yeah, she don't feel bad because she do the marching song and boy, we really take the marching song to task. I know we are march. But it's interesting times. Away. But they were all going in for the head of Leighton Epstein, and they finally get him head, and he will not. If him put him head up there to challenge to be the leader, Bunting is going to lick him off. Because Bunting haven't filed. Him don't have a chance in hell of Bunting. So him better go all him look at Canada, Eastern Westphal, and I help the people build back them board house. Because that's all them building back board house.
Then you feel say is genuine.
A relationship with them, though, you know, because to date, I don't believe he knows who his constituents are.
And we are talking about the man don't know. Days after, I know the Sanders get damaged, you know. Days after.
I am agreeing with you that him don't know people them. Same need to be in a relationship.
The man don't know a soul. All him do was fork out the millions and give certain people and say, buy how much votes we can buy with this. I was buy the votes them and then get PG to come say what him say and that was that. Him don't know a soul. Him don't have a working, him don't have a relationship with nobody. No, and that's not something that me and Lawrence have make up. We are telling them to have a relationship.
Because it's not a political party anymore. It's a group of business people. Bunting wants to buy his way and I'm not getting there. In his 65, 66.
He might be 70 in the next election. So yeah, you're right.
Wait a minute. It's because that would be a regressive stake to go to give Bunting any leadership at all.
So what the people them need for the
rewards loyalty and buys competence.
You're there. So what the people them need for the Star campaign? Rewards loyalty and buy competency.
Oh yes, that's Bunting's operation.
So what the people them for start, you know, start campaign and say Bunting are gonna be 17 supposed to give somebody else a chance?
It doesn't matter what the campaign
He have
is.
the ability
It's
to
going
lead
to be
nothing.
an internal thing that them going to manipulate and all kind of machinations, and them going to they're going to do what they want to do. Who's going to stop them? They're not going to stop them what they want to do. And you asked a question about warm to the delegates, each man
I
about
think the minutes.
Yes, Michelle?
I think the minute that Maureen Weber, whether they want to believe it or not, he's now the new general secretary, just not call her by that name.
Yes.
Right? And it is then push right in one side. They never write no letter, as far as we know, telling them that he would like to step back, that he can concentrate, that they made that decision for. That's exactly what Nationwide reported.
And
Right?
that's what Angela presented. And that's what Mark said in his presentation to the NEC.
Now, as far as I understand the PNP's constitution, when there's going to be the general secretary serves at the pleasure of the NEC.
Of the leader. The leader.
Of the NEC. Unless they change the rules.
That is the constitution, but the general secretary really serves at the pleasure of the leader.
Stuff from confusing.
Actually, theoretically, you're very correct, Michelle.
But theoretically, but the general secretary really serves at the pleasure of the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, he serves at the pleasure of the leader, but he cannot become a general secretary unless NEC vote for the people in the NEC, the majority. That's the law.
And I tell you all the while that you are talking about what the constitution says and how it really should go. And Lawrence and I are telling you that those are things.
But can you tell us of any instance where a general secretary was general secretary by the NEC not voting for them, even if it was a leader who influenced them?
Yes. There is the ratification or the appearance of a ratification by the NEC, because when the ballots are cast and we go in our room for counting, what is in the ballot box may not be what is counted.
There was no election for Paul Burke to become general secretary. No, but they have ratified it. That's as Lawrence said.
But there was also the impending contest between Peter Phillips and Michael Peart, and Michael Manley walked into the NEC and called Marjorie Taylor behind the platform after the whole of the to go war for Michael Peart, and Michael called Marjorie Taylor behind the platform until I don't know if herself with him, Peter Phillips.
All right, and then who wanted that ratify Peter Phillips? The NEC. The long and short of it, the NEC have to put them stamp on it, the person.
All right, guys.
Now, what they have done,
No,
just a
what
minute,
I'm saying,
because it looks like saying
Listen,
so it appears as though
it can be an appearance that the NEC ratifies it. You
Just
may
an
go into a
appearance.
contest and the majority voted a particular way. But when you go into that little room and do the counting, you ratify the leader's wishes.
Yes, I would try to tell you that and stop repeating that about the NEC.
It does not matter how it goes. And
no, you are saying because you see the Constitution says so, and that's what it should go. But
yes,
the argument is wrong, but hold it. Still hold the argument.
Question.
Yeah?
Well, so which one of them are going to beat Andrew?
None of them.
Are you crazy? You're mad? If you go through it one by one.
Me, Jesus.
You go through it one by one, it become a joke. Angela can't beat Andrew. Neither can Bunting. Neither can Leighton Epstein. None of them can beat Andrew.
Paulwell.
Angela can't even beat Angela.
I mean,
What about Paulwell?
Well, we should not say about that the relationship between Paulwell and Mr. Holness is a big brother, little brother kind of thing. That relationship between Mr. Holness and Paulwell is a relationship that I think is genuine. and heartfelt. And I am not going to comment publicly about the two of them going up against each other unless that actually happens.
So, one officer. Why? I mean, I know this situation. Why? So, Karen, what?
Golden. None of the three of them, Angela Brown, but none of the four of them can beat Andrew Hollis as the present situation is. None of them. Falwell, Bunting, Golden, Brownberg, none of them can beat Andrew Hollis as the present situation is.
Well, look here.
None.
The 3 consecutive general elections that the PNP lost, we have to talk about that. Because, you know, like I said before you guys came, when you hear people talking about election thief and them sitting there, you have to remind them that this is a 3rd consecutive. Why is it that the PNP cannot win an election in the last 10 years?
Because it is not the PNP. The Rise United movement is in charge. It's their party. They campaign on a Mark Golden only. Me, myself, all the campaign slogans. They ran about 5 ads on television, the entire campaign. 5 ads, and it was Mark Golden. There was one campaign ad with him stand up, him hand on him left breast, and he was singing along, I pledge, da 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 dee, da da, national song. That was one of their campaigns. That's all you saw. There was another campaign with Mark Golden. Them use when I speak. So, as I said, the PNP has been placed on automatic pilot and whatever. Percival Noel James Patterson. Percival Noel James Patterson is running the show. He's running what is there in running the whole political situation. He is a power broker. And if the neck no broke or drop dead, it never change. You understand? But the PNP itself is not present because the organizational structure, well, we know. So Andrew can be beaten. Andrew can be easily beaten, but it's not the PNP up against him. It is this group of business persons. Peter Bunting wants to be Prime Minister, and he's going to drop dead. He can still believe at his age, and he can't talk. He not have a presentation, he not have a presence, he not have a political organizational skill. He just believe in the power of money. It has failed him on 5 different occasions.
5?
Dayton Campbell. 5, yeah, man. And get beaten. And get beaten from Peter Phillips. And get beaten.
Central.
Roda and get beaten. 5 times and get beaten.
Then all that equal to 5.
No, man. All right. And get beaten from Peter Phillips. And get beaten for when the run for again. Remember, and then get beaten from Roda, that's 3. And get beaten in the run for in the run for one of the constituencies them.
Oh, I think him did run cross about 3 constituencies before him settled down a South for true, but I not beating him did get him just run.
The people I'm telling him say them don't want him and him leave. But Peter Bunting has nothing but it's just him ambition and him thinking money could have buy him. Him learning the harshest way that it never happen. Because you have no appeal to the people. It don't have any political presence, it don't have a political speech, acumen, organizational skill, presentation, nothing.
He lost 4 times.
4 times? Oh.
Yeah.
Lord.
In 2019, the Rise United campaign, he lost his seat in 2020. He lost the local government election in 2024, and he lost the general election.
Remember that one. 5 months. There's another one too.
So what do you guys make of this argument that Lisa may come back and run?
Yeah, Lisa. Interesting situation, but let's not present Lisa right now.
No, may I not present her. May I ask a question?
Well, yes. She never leave the politics and gone away. She just step back because I watched to see what was happening. PJP another instrumental role in getting them to push her out. But what we must look at and face the reality of, there is no political organization. All right, Melissa hit the country. Melissa hit the country. Sinama Melissa. I'm going St. Elizabeth. I'm a cry. St. Elizabeth, Black River. I'm going to Santa Cruz. I want to reach Black River. I have no tears coming my eye when I enter Black River. I'm still a cry. But the first thing Mark Golding did when he come back to the country, Mark Golding, 63 candidate, must get $50 million. That was the first thing Mark Golding said.
Jesus have mercy, no, sir.
When Michael Manley was returning to Jamaica, he was on a lecture tour. And Gilbert hit us Monday, September 12, 1988. When Michael Manley came in, Michael Manley landed at the airport with about 10 aircraft of things. And Mike, when he was met by the journalists, them have the mic, and Michael say, well, I won't be handling the Red Cross and the Girl Guide, all the organized, Japan, Germany, England, Canada, the Caribbean, you name it. When the amount of things will come, Michael said, don't give it to me or to the PNP. We are going to hand it to Red Cross and things. The first thing Mark Golding said, give us each 63. Not never happen. My house top piece slightly blew off, yes. But me have so much tree around my house top that Melissa, which one name, she said she can't manage to be at home, so she go to country. The first thing Mark Golding said was, it need $50 million for 63 MP. 63 MP was not affected. Then Mark Golding flew in a helicopter, put him on him keyboard, and take a picture. So what I tell you is them
and stand down there and raise his fist.
yeah. So that tell you say there is no political organization. These are cool calculated business people who want position. Right now, proven wealth is in serious trouble. Leeching. There's some interesting situations happening in the country. Proven wealth is in serious trouble, right? Serious trouble too, financially. So this man come home, run away, and then come back to Jamaica. Too long and say, when Andrew want 50.
Then him see him wanna complain say the money where we get it will be a debt burden. So where we forget 50 million forget each MP from.
But you want to be prime minister? The later interested man. I say when I cut it out and
I got it. I think a Lawrence sent it come give me. I will write it again. Oh, I think
somebody named Clark.
All right.
Mark Golding is behaving like his ancestry. I own this plantation. And the young man, the letter was brilliantly and beautifully written. There is no coalition.
Let me look on it. Let me look on it before I come on. Let me look on it.
There is no co-prime minister in Jamaica. Is that good? Anyhow,
there's no co-prime minister or coalition government. Okay, I see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on leave, no, because FBI.
Yeah, man. All right. Thank you for joining. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut it off here. Do you guys have any final words about this or anything like that? I'm going to read this and talk to the people about it next time. Lawrence, Karen, you have anything else to say before we leave?
My parting words are, whomever comes, Andrew will be securing the fort there.
Jesus.
And my parting words here, one by one, them going to jail.
No sound come on, when come down.
One by one, them going to the political. One by one, them going to the political wilderness. That's all.
Hey, Karen, when you see Buchanan, yell him up for me, yeah.
I mean, the West Side just and the workers them up in arms with him. Tell people say them collude.
Jeez, I'm fine. Poor Buchanan. All right, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. The people in the chat, they enjoy themselves. So thank you. We'll catch up. Lord, people, may I tell you now, whether I want to come from Karen channel over 411 are here. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope you got something, some informative content, or some good information. This is what is happening in the opposition party in a shambles. Yeah, it is. There's no if, ands, or buts based on what we're seeing. But the government is doing their thing. But, as what Dean Jackson Miller said, Jamaica needs a viable opposition. Guys, have yourselves a good night and thank you for stopping by.